Good afternoon. I'm Ziggy, and welcome to Ziggy's Rants. Now, first off, I want to ask of a favour, just three things. Please subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up makes a huge difference to the reach, and share. Always share. Everybody likes sharing. It's good for you. So please subscribe, thumbs up, and share. And then I can get a bigger reach for my channel. More people to see it, the better. So now that's over with, I want to talk about John Swinney. He's now been crowned the king of the SNP. He's the head of the party. No challengers came forward. We all know why. No one dare challenge him. They didn't want a leadership election. And by the way, he's the third time this has happened for the SNP. Sturgeon was unchallenged. Humza was basically unchallenged. They had a leadership election, but it wasn't. It was fixed heavily in favour of the continuity candidate number one, and now John Swinney, who's been unchallenged continuity candidate number two. And what we see before he's even become First Minister, which will be by the end of this week, it's a matter of time, not if. The Greens are going to support it, so he will be the next First Minister. And his statements, we see the usual nonsense rhetoric. He's going to serve his party and country. So his party come first, then the country. And that's the issue. That's the big issue I have with the last three First Ministers, is they have put their party before they've put their country. A First Minister is there to serve the whole of Scotland, not just the small minority that vote for them. Of course, they want to get the votes, and they want people to vote for their party. That's great. No problem with that. Obviously, that's politics. But once they become First Minister, they're meant to serve country first. They're meant to serve the whole of Scotland, what's best for Scotland, not what's best for the minority. And that's what they've been doing for over 10 years now. And we've seen some worrying statements from Honest John. Gender ID, the gender reform bill, that's another topic he wants to bring up and to try and bring back. Obviously, the Greens have told him this is their red line, this is their policy that he has to mention for their support. So the Greens obviously still have far too much say and power within Scottish politics for such little votes and such little little MSPs, just 7, but they have a massive say in what happens in Scottish politics. They still may be out of government, but they're still having a big say for their votes. So that's one worrying, very worrying statement he's made about this self-ID nonsense. He says he's going to lead the party to independence. He's going to make Scotland a fairer society. And it was basically the same speech Sturgeon made 10 years ago. Humza made the same kind of speech, a fairer, progressive Scotland, What does that mean? With over 10 years of saying this, I've still yet to have it explained to me what that is and what that entails. What what do we have now that's not what they're going to do independently that's fairer than what we have now? I don't understand the rhetoric because they haven't explained what that means and what that entails and how they're going to get there, because they haven't shown over the last at least 3 or 4 years since Humza took over, especially. We haven't seen that fairer Scotland. The hate bill, that's not made a fairer Scotland. It's made a more a horrible place to live. The hate bill. It made, we saw a 74-year-old lady escorted out of her house into the back of a van and taken to the police station because of a neighbour complaint that she said something to apparently, allegedly, she'd said something over the fence to her. That's a fairer Scotland? I don't think so. So what we're seeing is the same old, nothing new from the SNP, just the same old kind of language, and it's about time we changed it. It's old hat, it's old news. It's a government that is on its knees. It's a party that's on its knees, and I'm afraid bringing back Honest John is not going to change anything. And from what I've heard so far, and he's not First Minister yet, but from what I've heard so far, it's going to be just the same old, boring rhetoric. Absolutely no ideas. Independence first, Scotland second. Independence first, party second, Scotland third. What is best for Scotland, what's the best for the majority of Scotland, gets left behind. I've not heard anything about the health service. I've not heard anything about him saying anything about education. He said nothing about the local councils, nothing about the black hole we're in, the 1 point fill, nothing about the ferries. The only statement he's made is about the self-ID, gender issues, the GR. That's the only mention the only thing he's said so far. And that's because of the Greens. So I'm afraid we're not going forward, we're going backwards. And we need a Holyrood election, and we need to get these out and get starting to sort the very, very difficult issues we have. Report out now that the alcohol deaths are at the highest we've seen for over 12 years. Another worrying statistic. There's no plan. There's no action on this. It's just a pretty sad state of affairs. So that's my rant for this afternoon. As you can tell, I'm not very happy about what's going on. So expect more. Expect more over the next few days to few weeks of these kind of rants, because Scotland's in a hell of a mess, and it's only going to get worse with this First Minister, I'm afraid. So that's my rant for today. Don't forget, I'll be doing a rundown of the news in the morning. So it's around about 10 a.m. So I'll be doing that. Look out for that, please. And I'll be back shortly. So thanks for listening. Don't forget to share, to subscribe, and most of all, thumbs up. Thank you for listening, and take care.